My name's Justin. I created the page Light Silver Loveland. So in August 2023, I had an experience where I went outside and I saw these orbs flying in the sky, and it set off this curiosity in me where I just had to know what it was and try to figure out what was going on. So I started skywalking pretty much every single night, going out and documenting whatever I could. And over the course of from August until May 2024, I recorded a lot of interesting things, but nothing that like cemented in the knowing that this is something not just a man-made object. And then May 4th, 2024, I witnessed this really interesting formation of orbs in a triangle with another object kind of walked in with it. And I heard this really insane noise that got my attention, and I witnessed this thing fly. It was directly over my house. It flew north, and from that point on, I just had the knowing that this wasn't some man-made object, and it was something else. And that just set me on this journey to document as much as I could and try to share it with everyone else, because there's just so much going on in this world, and there's so much violence and fighting, and I feel like this is a topic that can bring us all together, and it really brings you back to your humanity and being a part of the ecosystem that is planet Earth. It's really brought me in harmony with nature, and it's brought me such a greater connection to some higher power. I didn't believe in God growing up, and through this experience, it's been very spiritual to me, and I now believe that there's a higher power out there that I've been able to connect with, and it comes through opening your heart and your mind and expressing gratitude. And yeah, I just go through every day being grateful for what I have, and since I've been doing that, I've been on this incredible journey, and I can't wait to see where it continues to take me. And I just want to thank everyone so much for being here and coming along to hopefully connect with some higher power up there. And yeah, hopefully we'll have an amazing night.
All right. Also, we've got Ryan Desbien, Games winner. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Desbien. I am the 2025 Sci Games champion. I competed. So let me back up just real quick. Sci Games was the first international Psychic Olympics. It was put on in North Carolina last year. There was about 30 contestants from around the world, everywhere from England to Brazil to Australia to many, many different people around the United States, including myself. I competed in 3 of the 5 games. I tested into all 5 of the games, and I podiumed on all 3 of the events that I entered. Winning psychokinesis, which is moving stuff with your mind, getting second in mind sight, which we'll do a demonstration of tonight, and I ended up getting second in precognition as well. I'd love to do a demonstration for you guys all tonight after Kari does the rest of the spiel here, but just so that way you guys all know me, I'm also a professional motorcycle racer, professional long driver, and I ride BMX, and I do all sorts of adrenaline stuff, so I'm not your typical psychic. So on that, I'll give it back to Kari.
Thank you, Ryan.
Folks will meditate, and I think that's a very good thing for folks. I don't particularly meditate. I kind of go right into it. I work off adrenaline. I brought the dirt bikes. Just so everyone kind of knows, when I get to my flow state through my motorcycle racing, that's kind of when my psychic abilities really kick in. So I'm probably a little bit different than a lot of psychics in that manner. I train for this competition, right? So nothing I do is magic. Nothing I do is trying to deceive you or create anything. I have this, but I encourage you guys to all come up and look at our materials. I have social media as well, so I have my YouTube as well as Facebook and Instagram. I post a lot of the training so people can see exactly what's happening. Once again, I train for a competition, so this isn't so much like a magic show. This is just to show you what we're each capable of doing with some time, energy, and effort. experience. And when I had this near-death experience, I kind of got these color overlays. These color overlays kind of come through, like if you shut your eyes and you rub them a little bit, you kind of get these like swirls of like purples and blues and teals and all these different colors, right? Well, for me, those colors never really turned off. And so I can kind of get the outlines of objects. I'm able to see certain things with certain amounts of detail, not always good. I'm still working on reading. There's folks that are able to do this and read. I actually have been challenged by a guy named James Wilkes, who's a professional MMA fighter, to do a test in September, where he's actually going to be doing them in a completely separate location. I actually currently am working on this with folks in England from Weird Technologies, where they'll have these Zender cards up and not facing the camera, but just facing a person in England. And I called them out in Colorado, and I've had pretty good accuracy. I also trained with that with Cheryl, my trainer, and we just did a demonstration like that on Wednesday where I killed it. So it doesn't always even have to. Oh, because I hit it. It doesn't always have to be in front of me. It can be behind me. Just for today's demo, we're going to do them in front of me. Cheryl, if you want to go ahead, I'm just going to try to. I'm facing everybody generically, right? So you're going to show me the card so people can see it too. And then just give me a little bit. I'm facing the people, right? So I think you just put up a circle. So that same rotation is perfect. So I move a little bit, guys, not because it's like anything, but I just move to kind of get my surroundings as a circle. And then I think you put up it's the same shape, but it's pointier, so I'm gonna say it's a square. Don't tell me right or wrong, sure, let's just go through like 15. Oh, that's water. So guys, it's a weird thing to explain. For whatever reason, between my training and maybe some stuff that happened a little bit prior, water when it visually comes up and I'm searching for it, gives me a sour jaw. So I'm sorry if that's a weird thing. Square.
one. I was like, okay, I'm on like $500 on the penny slot first time. But who does that? Like, it's right. And then you just continually kept going to machines and winning. And I'm like, what? Like anyone else, you put in like $10, you're like, I'm done. Like, he's winning first try, maybe 2 or 3 tries, not watching people, seeing like how much they've lost on the machines to think like, oh, it's gonna hit. Just like he's drawn to the machines, so you can follow.
Also, I've worked in the healthcare system for a long time. I do agree. I think I have some degree of telepathy, working literally a lifetime when I was a kid with folks that are nonverbal, severe mental illness, severe dementia.
Getting my heart activated, kind of dancing around sometimes. It'll take what is like a foggy area and it'll start to clear it up. So it may be like kind of like a hazy frosted glass kind of thing, but the more quote unquote in the zone I get, then I can actually see a little detail here. So I'm just kind of trying to work through that to get to the point where I can see good enough. Okay, so I got red, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first?
I'll go first.
What color are yours?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's the third one, right? Trying to remember how to play.
4 in a row.
Austin, you didn't know this was going to be on the
Anyway.
agenda? Austin's being a trooper because he didn't know this was on the agenda. Where this is something we've not trained with. So Austin trains with me once a week with this international training we do with some folks that were in the side games. And just to make sure that we're all kind of staying on it. You went, right?
Yeah, I went right on top of yours.
Well, don't tell me that.
Oh,
No.
I'm just trying to verify that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got it.
I don't know if I'll win the game, but I can see what's okay.
So we actually, when we train during the week, we actually train to the psychokinesis, and anybody that wants to ask me any questions or see any of the stuff that we use what's called an Igley wheel. And so the Igley wheel is what helps us train psychokinesis.
Go ahead.
I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if this is going to happen. Come on, baby. Yes, it did. Oh, I missed it barely. So we train psychokinesis. We train with what's called an Igley wheel, where we do it left, right. We'll do it for a certain amount of times, make it stop, and that's what we actually did as the competition in the side games, inside of like a painter's box. We also do remote viewing, and Cheryl actually do want to talk a bit about our remote viewing. I'm gonna try to block something Austin's got going here.
Okay, so remote viewing, essentially what we've been doing is just a random photo generator I pull up on the internet, and then I take a picture of it because free thing that has a pop-up is really annoying. So I take a screenshot, zoom in on the picture, give them 4 minutes, which I'm part of, and then they try to visualize, it depends on who it is and how they're doing it, but sometimes they say, well, I'm trying to, put myself like I'm standing behind you to see what you're looking at, and I continually look at it, and then they write down words, they draw pictures of what they see. Like he said, one of the gals is in Brazil that's doing it. She's definitely not anywhere close. And sometimes
We do also use target boxes as well, not just AI. And so, like, we'll put things in what the Igley box where we don't know what's happening, but
like hidden objects.
correct.
And then just you write down what you're seeing, and you're trying to view what essentially someone else is seeing. And sometimes it's really spot on, sometimes it's not. And sometimes I think the group all sees something that I am not seeing, but they all see the same thing, which is really crazy too. So
We also do dowsing, and so dowsing in the side games was done with wooden panels and metals underneath those, and with the goal of either using dowsing rods, pendulums, which we do have some in my trailer. If nothing else, guys, go at least check it out. I have some cool posters of different things that we've done, as well as some different things that you can use to train for your psychic abilities. But we use either dowsing rods. I actually use my hands. I find that my hands tend to be definitely an extended part of my consciousness, both with psychokinesis and dowsing. but with the goal of finding either targets or metals or different objects. Did you go, Austin?
I haven't gotten, no, I got a little frustrated, so the area that was clear and I could see through takes over.
You're all good, man. I can keep rambling. Guys, I'm really good at rambling. I tell you some stories. Precognition, right? So we actually train precognition in multiple different ways, and when I do my trainings during the week that's international, I really emphasize precognition in the side games. Because a lot of times, guys, if you can have a really good set of like precognition and kind of know what's going to happen, it's a lot easier to have or manifest those outcomes, right? I use the example of Willy Wonka. This latest Willy Wonka, although I know he's not Gene Wilder, at the latest Willy Wonka at the end, he's with the original Oompa Loompa guy, and they're walking through the castle, and as he's walking through, it starts materializing as the Gene Wilder chocolate shop, right? And so when I see all these things around me, they kind of hit 3D and with all these different versions, right? And so one thing that's been pretty unique to me in my training is that I've really been training to do this with technology. And so I actually have precognition training with this company called Weird Technologies. Oh, hold on. Right? I know. That's what I'm trying to say. I actually do this with this company called Weird Technologies, where I actually use my psychokinesis here in Colorado to intentionally make things in England, specifically Worcestershire. I think it's literally the name, not just the sauce. But I actually make this thing called a weirdoscope change color with intention here from Colorado, and I've just posted a video about that, but it's been a wild ride, guys. Did I get all the game show? Are me and Austin just gonna stalemate each other?
Maybe. Okay, precog, mindsight. Remote viewing.
That's China.
Maybe.
Pretty much trying is if you're automatically like, there's like this mistake, you're doing something, you're never gonna be able to do it. I just don't believe that you can. Your mind's already shut off to the idea that you could do it.
Oh man, I missed that.
I just like it.
I got too focused on what I was doing.
So we just wanted to show that probably took a little bit longer there at the end, but just to show everybody and just to let everybody know, like, real human potential, you guys. I don't think there's anything particularly special about me or Austin other than we're real. I mean, but this is something that we all can achieve with training. It took about 8 months of training pretty intensely, but I know Austin's done a lot of his own stuff as well, and I just encourage you guys to try this for yourselves.
I am Brandy, I'm Ryan's wife. If I can speak to it too, I don't train as much as Ryan does. Cheryl helps him out a lot, but I also help him as well. And I'm like, well, let me try this, you know, I want to do this too. And so right now, I'm kind of in the process that they have figured out. I will put the mind fold on in what they call windows. Mine open up in my 2 peripherals. And it just looks like moving lights and kaleidoscoping, but you can see if you move something in front, you can tell just like if sun was shining in, that there's a shadow blocking the light. And it makes me really dizzy. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but some people also describe it as, and you may have heard Austin a little bit earlier, a frosted window. So if your windshield was like super fogged up and then all of a sudden little windows start opening up until you can figure out really how to focus it. So I'm still working on it. I'm not there yet, but I'm just describing another part of the process. And we train with, like he said, with the cards. He also has another color box over there. It's just like a toddler toy with all different colors and different size shapes. And he will put those all in front of him and most of the time get 100% score. And we also started, the way we kind of started training was just with a standard deck of cards. And you kind of start to work on your precognition and all you just say is black, red, black, red, black, red. And what's crazy is the more you work on it, the better you get, just like with anything. So I started out probably getting 20 to 30 cards right out of the 52, and now my highest score is 43. Just practicing it more often. So Ryan could probably get more than that, and he's also to the point you guys saw with mine pulled on, like he can call out the card. And he, like he said, he has that color overlay. He sometimes gets feelings too, so he'll be over there.
Yeah, I think
so,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We'll take turns. Okay, well, I'm just telling you right out of the gate, I know what you got. So I'll just go first. Water, for sure. It hit hard.
And it was blue water, right?
It was the water.
I'm gonna say that's a circle. Is it maybe a square though? What is it?
I see a circle.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. I got this one. That's a plus.
That one's a square.
And I just want to show everybody, like me and Austin have no reason to like fake anybody. I mean, neither of us are wearing anything. We have nothing in our pockets. We've heard everything from Morse code to
I've
things
got
in
an
our
implant in my teeth.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so when we do this, we just want to make sure people know that like we're, it's a square, isn't it? But we just want to make sure people know it's just like we want to be genuine with folks, and we want to show people what everyone's capable of. So.
That's a black card with a white star.
Wow.
Oh my God, Cheryl, come on, man! Well, you gotta keep giving them to me. It's water.
So plus.
Hard star.
It's a plus.
Square. And Cheryl, whenever you feel like, oh, you.
It's water. It's black though.
I
So-
don't know. It
so-
just hit. I'm sorry.
Ryan, you said that when you see the water, you feel like you were trained in the gateway?
Yes, so I mean I won't go into craziness, but so I went to a school called Co Elementary. My mom was a teacher there. It's a whole big thing. I mean I don't know for a fact because my dad wasn't as involved and my mom passed away in 2015. Before the psychic stuff really kind of hit again, I actually when I passed and got my color overlay was in 2015, right after she passed. I believe I was part of one of the GATE programs that they had basically the 70s to the early 2000s, where I think they tested folks in elementary schools for psychic abilities, and I distinctly remember being incentivized with sour warheads, and I have had this connection with whatever the water is, and it gives me a sour jaw. I don't know how else to describe it.
So did they have these cards in whatever the 90s or when you were in?
Yeah, I mean, even back to like before that. I think they've been around for quite some time. I don't know exactly when, but I know that they've been around since like World War II at least.
I can get a little bit of my experience with that as well. When I was in elementary school in Texas, when I was in maybe 3rd or 4th grade, I was really good at math, and so they told me that I could go to this other room during the math part of class and do more challenging math problems. But I remember the first time I went to that other room with a small group of kids, they had these Zinner cards faced away from us, and you were supposed to see if you could know what the shape was on the other side. And then there was also a hearing test that we did in this little booth where it would play different frequencies to see if you could hear those frequencies. And I don't remember doing good on either of those tests because I think after that anytime I go to that room I do harder math problems. But that was definitely I feel like a way to mark to see which kids had a natural innate ability to perceive either higher frequencies or lower frequencies, or to be able to have a higher level of intuition than other kids maybe would have.
Yeah, I'll just add one more really quick thing, just so I can kind of help people expand on what's also helped me. So what potentially, once again, this is kind of lore. I don't know that this is exactly what happened, but potentially what they use is what's called binaural beats. So what binaural beats are is they're one frequency at one tone in one ear and a different frequency in another tone in your other ear, creating a third frequency. And what this is called hemisync. And hemisync will actually connect both sides of your brain. We always talk about how like your right brain is your creative side, your left brain is your analytical, and it's connected to the opposite side of your arms and all this kind of stuff. So what this binaural beat does is it kind of helps connect those. And so I'm sure Austin's done it as well. With part of when you start to get into this is you might train with either the Gateway program from the Monroe Institute or experiment with what's called binaural beats. And using those, but what I do is I'll keep those binaural beats at just a low, just above room level, so you're still hearing what's going on around you, and you just kind of focus on that third frequency that your mind is creating, right? That sequence of both sides hemisyncing. Once you kind of can focus on that, for me, that's what kind of really led into being able to focus into getting a lot of these other things to happen. That was a really long-winded explanation of a little bit of stuff. But I just wanted to thank everybody for letting me and Austin do a little demo. I don't know where Austin's at. There he is. But oh yeah, we're way closer. But I just wanted to thank everybody for letting us do our demo. Please check out my trailer for nothing else. My trailer's got some dowsing stuff in it. We have some alien merch as well. I know that he's not going to do it, but I'm going to do it for him. Justin has his own line of products from Lights Over Loveland. I'll let him do his little clip for it later, but you got to check him out. This hoodie he's wearing is pretty neat. I'm just saying. So thank you guys so much for supporting us, and we'll look forward to talking with everybody.